Well, speaking of tired, it looks a little bit like a tired U.S. squad. We have to remember they played a game just a few days ago, and it seems to be affecting the players.
Long distance blast, and it's Alvin Jones. Went for the legend books. Oh my! His first Trinidadian goal, and he might as well retire right now. World class doesn't do that justice.
Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back to Bias Brothers. We're back in the podcast today. We have an esteemed guest in the house with us today. But before we go and introduce our guest, we'll bring on my co-host, Jomo. Jomo, what's going on, bro?
Just cool. Excited for another program. Excited for another podcast. Local football at its best. So you're gonna look at a current player in the MLS. If that's enough of a hint, he knocked. Anyway, let me leave the introduction to David. Go ahead, David.
Well, yeah, if you didn't guess by now, we have Salt Lake defender Alvin Jones in the house. Alvin, what's going on, bro?
Good, man. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Everything good.
How things going over on that side with COVID and everything?
Yeah, it's a bit rough, but we're getting through it, man, by the grace of God.
How you dealing with it, bro?
Well, now I adapted, I'm like, I don't be outside plenty, just training to the grocery and then back home. I spend a lot of my time inside watching TVs, movies, having chat with my family. And so.
Well, a lot of people know you for your goal against USA.
Yeah.
Especially people who don't know about football will just know you for the goal against USA. And that was an amazing moment for you and the nation as a whole.
Yep.
Go tell us about that goal now.
Well, first, leading up to the game, the morning of the game, I had a chat with my dad. He was like, it's like start using my strength. My strength is, with the ball, kicking the ball, crossing the ball. So he's like focus more on my strength. The morning of the game, also I had a chat. We was having like a team walk. With I had a chat with Russell, and he was like, "Yo, feeling it today. Like this shoot, they're gonna score today. Leading into the game, yeah." I leading into the game, like in dressing room, listening to your music, you're doing your game pump. And well, our game plan, like the USA was playing, I was playing like a diamond in the middle, so we had a lot of space down the wings, and like the coach wanted me to, like, every time, Nathan was playing on my side, give Nathan the ball for him to go 1v1, and like that moment I get the ball inside the field, and like it played in my head, like have a go, but the game plan was just to give Nathan the ball, and I just, that point in time, I do my own thing, I have a shot, and I scored, and it was a beautiful moment.
You was confident that was going in, or was a hit and hope?
Well, you see the thing with shooting with power, is no direction. You just shoot, So the power, the soul will do, and I think that point in time I was a bit lucky, the ball got a little bounce, everything was played into my hands, and the goal come.
Good question, Alvin.
Go ahead.
Good question. This I would have seen it. I've seen you score similar free kicks for Derby Connection in the Pro League. So I know that was your first time shooting at that range.
Yeah.
So the fact that you beat a quality keeper, I mean, even in our previous episodes, the discussions we would have is that wasn't just a regular keeper. That's Tim Howard, Everton.
Yeah.
And to be comprehensively beaten from that distance and the keeper seeing the ball all the way, he wasn't shadowed. How does that make you feel? That made you feel any at the time?
Well, at the time, I'm not studying status, like the keeper status.
Yeah.
I'm just studying the goal. To be fair, I didn't even saw him. I just look at the goal, and as I said, I just had a go, and the ball swerve, and a bit of luck, and I get my goal.
Because the first time I see you do it for Derby Connection, I was like, why are you going to try to shoot from quite out there? It was actually a free kick, a dead ball situation. and you
Yep.
blast it in the top corner. So when I see a shoot from that range in the game, it's like, okay, okay. And well, when it scores, it's like shock. I mean, based on
Yeah.
the campaign at the time and the difficult time in the campaign we was having. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, yes, you're still positive about the game, but we facing the mighty West. We have nothing to play for. They have to play for qualification. So,
Yeah.
even as a fan, you're watching the game, you're a bit pensive. So, to see you pick up the ball
Yeah.
at that, settle yourself and drive it home I
Yep.
mean, it's a big moment for the country needing a lift at the time.
Well, yeah, and even after the goal, I had a next free kick like very close to the half
Yeah,
line, and I had a
Yeah.
goal
yeah,
also. So like it's build your confidence, as a player
yeah,
when you while you playing.
yeah.
Like for me, I didn't even know I was so far. It's after when I watching the replay, I was
Mm,
like really, but
It's
mm,
like 40 yards
things.
out.
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
But how was that game on a whole for you though? Because I
Uh,
we're going into the game. I honestly didn't expect Trinidad to come out with anything. I was expecting USA come out 3-4-0, go to the World Cup. But and
well,
especially
yeah,
given especially given that this was not the strongest Trinidad 11, and probably not
yeah,
even the first choice Trinidad 11. So how was that game for
definitely.
you? Because even after the goal, USA was pressing hard to get back into the
Well,
game.
Well, yeah, because I think the day before the game, it was like they hype up the game, like with the water on the field.
yeah,
So it
Yeah,
was like,
mm,
and for me personally, I don't know some of the players. For me personally, I saw signs of weakness from the US because they're just 1 point, to go to a World Cup, and they're focusing on the wrong thing. Like the both teams have to play on the pitch. So for me, I saw signs of weakness. I was real pumped up for the game because it was my first World Cup qualifiers start.
yeah,
And even when my debut for the World Cup qualifiers, I get a red card against
yeah,
Honduras. I
yeah,
come
yeah,
on and I get a
yeah,
red card like probably in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It
yeah,
was
yeah. I remember
horrible.
that game. Yeah,
So for me personally, for me, that's the kind of person I am. I think that I owe the country something,
yeah.
so I get the opportunity again. I went out there and I
Mhm.
play my heart out, play to the best of my ability, and I get a goal and assist. So
that was your
Just a quick
only.
question.
That was your
Do
first.
you?
That's not Jomo. That was
Mhm.
your first international goal, and
first
only
international
only
goal,
international goal so far.
only international goal, yeah.
Well,
What an
what a
international goal to
beauty!
have.
What a beauty! Go ahead, Jomo.
I mean, is hopefully score many more, but let's say don't score
Yeah.
any more. It's a nice one to have.
A nice first one.
Alvin, I just want to talk about the game as in general. I think the game, a lot of hype was on Pulisic at the time. I mean, another person on this video call is a Chelsea fan, so seeing his
Well,
number 10 being stopped at the time was enjoyable for me. But I
Pulisic
also
was
want to
not
talk
Chelsea
about,
then. Pulisic was not Chelsea
but
then. So.
okay, then now it don't make a difference. Anyway, I just want to talk about how the second goal and what you think. And I believe that the reason we won that game is based on the second goal going in so soon after the first, and basically the distance that kind of knocked them back, and they wasn't really prepared or they wasn't really expectant of it because you wouldn't be privy to hear it, but just the commentators on the amazement of the strike or even the US being down 2-0 to Trinidad at this stage, and it hurt me to say a poor Trinidad team, but we would have been for large periods of time in the qualifiers. So at that moment to concede that goal, the commentators and all were in a state of shock. Do you believe that the goal helped knock somebody win out of the US sales?
Well, yeah, because well, definitely the first half, like being 2-0 up first half, like we had no chance, like we have opportunity to give the fans something, like to have hope in us, So going into the game, right, we up 2-0 in first half, was definitely was excited for us, like we did believe that, that we can win the game. And I think like the second half, the game start over, you see a different US team. They came out like in the first, we was on our back foot for the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes in the second half, and I think we held them good, and we drained them, like we keep the clean sheet. I think the score like in the 77 minute like that. So like, and then they had a next belief, and we hold out
The score
for the
wasn't
20
like
minutes.
the score wasn't like right after halftime, like 46 minutes, 47 minutes.
Nah.
Well, yeah, I believe it's probably around the 60 something to the 70 something,
Yeah,
probably around
Yeah,
there.
so
after
far
50
though?
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. But
yeah.
bro, yeah, yeah, good.
So
Alvin, in
definitely.
terms of, you go ahead, you continue.
No, I'm just saying, like, definitely, you playing, you feeling the joy, that you can win a game, and we do that, we hold on, and we get a 3 points.
Mm.
Well, Bill, Alvin, Bill, people, as I said before, people only know you for this school, especially
Some people.
well, yeah, especially people who don't follow football and especially don't
Football,
follow
yeah.
national football. But you've been out here for time, Bill. It's about
Mm-hmm.
8 years now. And you started with Connection.
Yeah, I started with W Connection, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about your early days now from like what school did you go?
Well, I went to East Mokorapo,
Mm.
play intercol there, and then from there I went straight pro with W Connection. I signed my first professional contract on my birthday, my 18th birthday, for W Connection. I was there for like, I believe like 5 years. Yeah, 5 to 6 years I was with W Connection. Well, coming down to my last days to W Connection, I was frustrated. It was like
Mm.
feel like giving up. Like not really giving up, but like thinking like if this game is for me, you know,
Mm.
um, if I'm gonna get a break outside, because for
Mm.
me, I believe I could have got a break like 2 3 years before I get the break to
Mm.
Oklahoma, but God is in charge, When He say yes, no one can say no. I believe He was preparing me mentally,
Mm.
because being outside your country playing football, it's very, very difficult. Away from your family, your friends, your loved ones, it's very difficult. I believe He was testing me to see if I'm ready, and I get the break.
From
Okay.
Connection you
Alvin,
went to where?
Well, from W Connection, I went to Oklahoma. I spent like
mm.
5 months there, and then Real Salt Lake by me.
Mhm. Okay, Alvin, you're from a footballing family. I know a number of things we just do is address rumors on the show. So we have in here that your father was a past player, particularly with the strike squad. Any truth to that, or any information you can give us
Yeah,
on that?
yeah, and he was on the squad. I think was 1989 when the US knocked us out. He was
Okay.
he was there in that game.
It was kind of a revenge
Okay, so
game
that
for you then.
a revenge
Yeah,
game for you for Jones family.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so also not to mention that you're from a footballing family. Your brother is a senior international as well.
Hmm.
Do you feel any pressure having an older brother with the career path that Joven would have? And did you feel any pressure in your career that you needed to match up or be just as good, or just focus on your game and took it from there?
Well, I personally, I glad like these guys are wrong. And even Kevin Molino, we grew up together. Joven Jones, Kevin Molino. Growing up, well, we are around the same age group. So while we playing in the savannah, you will only hear people speak about Kevin Molino, Joven. I was never mentioned. I was nowhere close to them. But I believe in myself. I believe in hard work, and I work very, very hard. Those who know me from growing up, they know I was never promising, but I believe if you work very, very, very hard and you believe in God, that you can change things, and the person I turn out today, like the people in my community, they're shocked, they never believe that I
Mm.
can make a big, big, big improvement, and I'm so happy because I think I deserve it because I work my ass off in
Mm.
training, players who play with me, they'll know that's Alvin, he's a hard worker. He give his best, and that's all I can do. On the day I give my best and move
Okay,
on,
no
and when
problem.
I just
How younger are you to Joe? Like how much years?
3 years,
3 years.
3 years,
So he's
Okay,
always
okay.
looking up,
yeah.
and I feel like you was like in his shadow or so, like when
Well,
he was younger.
when I was younger, he had more experience than me. Like he was exposed to
Much
national
more.
team. He
Mm.
even play college in America. Like he used to be he used to be hard on me. Like he used to curse me like you're playing too slow, you
Yeah.
this, that, But as I said, I was not seeing what he was telling me, like, but I believe at a point in time I was like, he was like that's on me, like just on me, but I take it in a positive way, and while time go on, I improve, and I now see what he was trying to improve in me, but I pick it up late. But
Yeah.
thank God, I see what he was trying to do.
Okay, Alvin, a number of things would probably him putting that pressure on you then probably gave you hunger and desire or help you raise the game as opposed to if you didn't have that guidance, you always feel that at a certain age you're good enough, need to improve, but probably the constant pressure allow you to improve. You would say that?
Well, yeah, I'll say that because like with me, even in myself, if I say I good, I'm not good because I will judge myself over Kevin Molino, Alvin Jones, and I was nowhere close to them. So I always know like I always have to improve. So every day is an improvement for me. Every day, every day, every day, every day. So I think that helped me a lot in my career. Like the hard work. I was lucky to have great coaches in my career. Coaches like Primus, Stuart Charles, Sellers Figaro. They play a big part in my career because these guys, the passion they have for the game, I took that from them, and put it into my game, and the hard work, and here I am today.
Okay. I personally seen you play a number of positions, right back, centre back, defensive midfield. What do you think is your
Yeah.
best position, and where do you think is your best position, and where do you like playing the most? Because sometimes
Well,
where your best position mightn't be where you enjoy playing the most.
yeah. Well, for me personally, I love playing. Well, I started off as a stopper because I my idol is my uncle Richard Theodore. He passed away. He used to play center back, so like I love center back. But for me personally, I think my strength, like if I'm playing center back, I'm not I will not be using my strength. My strength is crossing, shooting, and I think like in this time now, the wing back, they need to they bring back like a midfielder, they have
Yeah.
to cross, they up the attacking, the defending. So for me personally, I love playing center back, but for me, I'm the type of person if my team need me. No, sorry, I love playing right back. For
Yeah.
me personally, if my team need me center back, I play
Yeah.
center back. If they need me defensive midfield, I play defensive midfield. That's the type of person. Wherever the team need me, I'm happy and I'll play to the best of my ability.
Okay, no problem. Scarlett.
So with your club, do you play fullback or wingback?
I play fullback.
Or so you're playing a back four?
Yeah.
Did you ever play wingback in a back three?
No, if we play in a back three, I play more the wing, more high up.
Okay, so I went back then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we talk about your time in the national team and obviously your breakthrough in the national team for the USA game. But did you have any spell like for the national youth teams under 17, under 20?
Yeah, I never make the I went on trials with the 17. I never make, but I was on the national under 20. We play qualifiers in Jamaica. I think Ross was the coach at that time, and then I represent them in the Pan Am Games. I was a captain. Was under 23 in Canada. So yeah, I played just on a 20 and on a 23.
For how long? 2 years?
It can be, yeah, like 2 years.
2 years. And how was the transition to
Okay.
the national team? Was it difficult?
Well, yeah. The youth national team, and when you
The
compare
senior
to the
team.
senior national team, it's different. You have to play faster. You have to think faster. You have to play stronger. It's a whole different ball game. But for me personally, it was not a big jump for me because I was always a strong player, playing strong. So
Yeah.
it's just coming natural for me. And I make my debut with Stephen Hart. I was I think it was the Gold Cup qualifiers. I was 19 years, I think.
Mm.
19, 20 years. Yeah, and that helped me a lot being around the national senior team. I was around the team for a while. I was in and out, but that helped me. The international football helped me a lot.
Yeah, talk to us about that debut. Who was it against?
Was against St. Lucia. We won that game 2-0.
Mhm.
That was
Yeah,
way back in qualifiers though, like maybe
way back. Yeah,
round one or round two or something like that.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, okay. At the time of your goal, Alvin, were you playing for W Connection?
Yeah. Was playing for Double
Okay.
Connection.
So do you think that the goal and being that highlight of a game helped your career on an upward trajectory? Or do you think you're playing in the
Well,
work before, but the game helped you get noticed?
well, the game gave me notice, but it didn't give me a contract. After the goal, I stay like probably a year and something in W Connection. I was fighting for a contract, and
Yeah.
was just at the last I get a contract in Oklahoma Energy. Mikel Williams and Cordell Cato was playing there, and I think it
Mhm.
was like the fifth game of the season. A defender got injured, and they recommend me to the coach. The coach see my video, see what I like, and he offered me a contract, and I took it. And here after that I came to Salt Lake, and here am I.
Okay, so just tell me about your 5 months in the USL with Oklahoma Energy. How was it? How was it having two? Um, well, I know Michael Williams would have played for W Connection. What was that like having a W Connection player with you at the time? And how was that 5 months before Real Salt Lake?
Well, um for me, well, it was my first time playing out of the country. I learned a lot there, like the US, the way how they play. It's different from Trinidad. We had I think like 6, 7 Caribbean players, so it was more like more the Caribbean style. But I learned a lot, like like breaking lines. There I learned those things. Like building out the ball, and when you reach a certain point, you can't really go back because you break the first press, the second press of the team. When I just went there, I was playing safe. Like chopping, playing back. And the guys was like, "Yo, like we in this half, let's try and keep the ball and go forward." But it was a learning process. I took it, and I'm grateful for the chance I had in the USL.
How
Okay, and
competitive is the USL? Because a lot of people
It
believe that USL is a big step down from the MLS. How true is
I
that?
don't think I don't think it's a big difference, because I believe it have USL teams will beat MLS teams, um because a lot of the USL team is they a lot of the MLS team have USL teams, so it's the same training, the same everything the MLS players is getting. The players might best be a little younger, but the coaching, the players' mentality, it's there like the MLS. And I don't believe, for me personally, I don't believe it's a big step. The USL, they run a lot. Some teams keep the ball, and for me personally, I don't believe it's a big step.
okay. So the step from the USL to the MLS, how was that?
Well,
What was required of Alvin Jones to make that step?
for me, I I I do what I had to do in my 5 months in the USL. I was home on vacation, and I get a call from my agent. Real Salt Lake, they want to buy you as a backup right back. Hell yeah, I accepted, and it was good. Well, coming to Utah was very difficult for me. Like my body break down like for 3 months because of the altitude, the cold. Um, I, for me personally, I don't do good with the different change in the climate. So I
Yeah.
came from Trinidad, and when I reached, it was like I was not I was not myself for 3 months. I believe that set me back.
Yeah.
It set me back as a player,
Yeah.
because like that first 3 months is very important. It's
Yeah.
like if it's preseason, it's very important. So I was not thinking good. I was not strong. My body was just breakdown, and I by time I catch myself. I start feeling better, I took like 4 months to catch myself,
Mhm.
and I start being myself. Was a new team around, so I have to learn the guy's name, learn the guy's culture, learn the guy's the mentality.
The playing
Learn them on
style,
the field.
what he
Yeah,
bought
the
the
playing
feet,
style.
etc.
Yeah, so I for me, I took a while to settle. You know, and now I'm settled with the guys. Good bunch of guys. We didn't make the playoff this year. 2020 been rough for everyone, but I believe Salt Lake we had a lot of distraction. You know, but it's the game. Life goes on, and hopefully next year we come back better.
Okay. So, Alvin, in terms of the Salt Lake style, what style of play do you think they have, and how does that style? How do you complement that in terms of your strengths and your attributes?
Well, Salt Lake, we try to keep the ball. We play a lot on the wings. So for me it's a plus because like they like the wing backs to go down, cross. So it's a plus for me. This year I when I was coming into the team, I knew the international spot was full, so I was waiting for some guys. I kind of play like the first 3 months or 2 months. I was waiting for some guys to get a green card for them to come off the international list for me to come on, and Corona come and slow everything up. You know, I just get released. I just get released, registered to play last week. Last 2 weeks, we had an incident with with one of our international guys, and he left. So God forbid, it opened up a spot for me, and I was on the bench for the last 2 games. We have one more game. Hopefully, I start that game and see how I do.
Okay. A number of people don't believe that they just think that Trinidad footballers go out there to just make it jump to the next level. They don't think about the factors of the winter, the cold. Personally, I've experienced the cold, and the cold, I just want to go from point A to point B and be inside. Point B back.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine having to sometimes you're walking there being from Trinidad, you can feel it in your fingers, your nose cold, your face cold, your tongue cold, your toes cold. I can
Yeah,
imagine
bro.
even now
Yeah.
beginning to play football in that weather. So for Trinidadians who only ever play in Trinidad, how is difficult, how tough is it to now be battling the cold, and on top of battling the cold, having to stay with the presence of mind that I am in a football game?
Well, for me personally, it was very hard because it was first time experiencing the cold weather. For me, I'm mentally strong. I always look at my brother. Go back to my brother Kevin Molina. I was like, yo, them out there, they're out here like 3 4 years. If they can do it, I can do it. Because they're from Trinidad. I'm from Trinidad. And as a human being, you have goals. This is my job. You're not your job always does not come bread and butter. It's
Yeah,
difficult sometimes.
yeah.
And you're not in Trinidad, you're in America. America
Mm,
is cold and hot. You know,
mm,
and it's cold, so I have to go through it. It's not only me. If the guys can do it, I can do it. Yeah, they're born in the weather, but I believe a human body is does adapt.
mm.
And your body as strong as your mind.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so I have goals as a human being. And for me to achieve my goals, it will not be easy. You'll have
Yeah.
hard times, you'll have good times, and
Mm,
the cold weather it's hard time. Sometimes you wonder like, why are you here?
yeah.
But I do it for my mom. Most important, I do it for my mom. Every time I go through difficult times, I think about her. I'm doing it for her. So
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. What do you think about personally goals in terms of you spoke about your brother, you spoke about Kevin Molino. Kevin Molino has they would have deep runs towards the MLS Cup. Your brother won the MLS Cup with the Seattle Sounders. What's your goal? You see you have a very nice ring. You saw the ring on social
Yeah.
media. So what are you challenging yourself in terms of the MLS Cup and being in the MLS? Well, some of your immediate goals and some would be your long-term goals.
Well, for me coming here, I know it would be difficult for me like playing time. for me, my goals was, like the little bit opportunity I get, I have to make use of it. Like try to assist, try to score. Try to be in the media as much as possible where you can market yourself.
Mhm.
That didn't really happen because of COVID. As I said, they pushed back everything for me to get released to play. But I stay focused. I stay positive, and I believe it's not me alone going through a hard time. I still to be around a good team, a good environment. I still get a big paycheck. It have people they don't have a work. So I look at it as a builder. Everything you go through is to build your mind, to build your spirit. And I believe that I have to work more harder in 2021. I look at 2020 as a lost year for me because I didn't really get the opportunity to showcase myself. So I just have to prepare for 2021 and hopefully the opportunity come again and I take it with my best foot.
Okay, great. So just a transition back to your national team days, because actually we want to kind of go back to that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your national team career thus far? What are your short-term goals post-COVID, and what are your long-term goals that hopefully you want to achieve before the end of your career?
Well, for me, I do believe I had plenty success with the national team. That is something that I don't want to change, but it's not about me alone. The guys have to have the right mentality, long term and short term goals, as you said. Um, but for me personally, I just want to, I love representing my country. It's one of the best feeling as a player, to play in front of your fans, your country people. Every time I put on my national jersey, I'll give my all. It mightn't be the best on the day, but on the day, whatever I have, I sure I'll give it. I believe we can do better as a nation. We should. We we have a good team. It's just like we have to get settle certain things. Because football is just not an easy game. It has so much thing can distract you, from performing. I believe we have to get things right over the field.
Mhm.
You know, if we as players have everything settled off the field, it's no excuse, for us to not perform. I believe they have to give us all the tools and everything for us to be clear minded and for us to perform. I believe we will perform as players.
At the point in time before he made a national debut, there was a high time for international football in terms of Trinidad
Yeah,
locally, and a personal view of mine is that that's probably one of the best feelings we ever had. I ever had, well, other than 2006 with the national team
yeah.
at that time, feeling that all the players speaking at the right time, all the players are just the right age. So you would have broken into the team at a kind of transition period between
Yeah.
the high time of Stephen Hart and Stephen Hart coming towards the end and eventually Dennis Lawrence. So what was the feeling in the camp when you just broke into the team? How would you describe it? And then how would you describe the feeling at the camp towards the end of the World Cup qualifier?
Well, the um, the starting was very good. I think with a new manager coming in, everyone is starting back at square one. You have to put in the work and make him trust you.
Yeah,
I believe the starting was good. We had everything going good, and then coming on, and then we had
yeah,
plenty distraction off the field, and I believe um, the problem we had off the field, it shows on the field. Plenty of the guys was distracted, and it shows in our game, and we was just poor as a team. You know, and that's why I said, I believe if we have everything good off the field, it's no excuse as we as players to not perform. So For me, that's one thing I want to see change. Like the problems of the field.
There
Just
were a
fix
number
it.
of problems on the field. Personally, as a fan looking in, we felt with the kits, with all these things. I understand where you're coming from, and it could be a distraction with the, especially with the distance some of the players were coming from to come to the national team. Wesley Aubrey would have said that when you play in a foreign country, joining up with the national team feel like coming to Trinidad, it's home away from home. So
Yeah.
they say that at the time it wasn't perfect, but I guess that's just the game. But I personally felt, to me, that the vibe in the camp or the results you were getting, the 3-all draw, the 4-all draw, as they would say, it would have been a difficult time to break into that team, and you managed to do it. So I just felt like at that time we were on the up, and well, the qualifiers didn't really go the way we were thinking it would go.
Yeah. But yeah, well, every player different. Every player, they think different. Something might be okay for me, mightn't be okay for next player. And that's you dealing with 30 guys. 30 different mentality, 30 different egos. So, but as a player, you have to. Some things could slide, and some things just cannot slide. You know,
Yeah.
and I get a call, a Zoom call.
That's somebody else calling you. Or...
I,
You
I
double
see
book
that
it.
Zoom call.
You double book, Alvin. You're taking somebody else one time.
Nah, yeah, sorry. So I said like players, it's different mentalities. It's different culture. Players grow up different. So I believe, but for me personally, I believe once you have everything smooth and running off the field, a player don't have excuse, not to perform. You can have one or two bad games, but when you come in, when you playing, your mind clear, you come back, everything's good, and you just want to play. You understand? But we will see how it goes, and hopefully change.
Okay. Gold Cup 2019 was your first Gold Cup as a
Yeah,
player? Okay,
yeah, the
how was that
player.
experience for you?
Well, for me, Gold Cup is one of the biggest tournament for one of the big tournament for Trinidad and Tobago. It was one of my goal, you know, and while I was there, the first game I had a breakdown on the field when the game start. A few
Yeah.
players know that, it was like
Yeah.
I achieved one of my goal. It was something I really, really was looking forward to. And just before the Panama game, I started the game. For the first 10 minutes in the game, I was like, I was not myself, the emotions, everything got the better of me. As I said, I had a breakdown. Uh, till we lose that game 2-0.
Yeah,
I
two
think
now. Yeah.
that, yeah, that game, it hit us hard, and then we went to US. That game was a disaster. And I think it was a bad year for us. We as players really need like to look at ourselves and try and change it.
But what do you think? Obviously, you did you played the Panama game, you played the USA game, and you played the Guyana game, and
No,
all
I didn't play the Ghana
you
game.
played the Guyana game.
Yeah,
But what do you think went wrong in that tournament? Because obviously Trinidad was going into the tournament expecting to come out that group.
group. Yeah,
Yeah, because we
for
see Panama is a beatable side. You beat Panama in the past, and
yeah.
Guyana, we expect to beat Guyana. So what do you think went wrong with
Well,
the team in that tournament?
I'll say the point in time of the tournament was bad for us as the Trinidad players because we only had like I think we only had like 7 guys or 6 guys who was in tournament at the point in time. The rest of guys was off season.
Okay, okay.
So the gelling as a player, I believe it was not there. Like the sharpness, the game sharpness, it was not there. I believe I believe some of the guys, their body was still in probably vacation mood, or
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it can be that, but I believe we was not gelling as a team. You can see like we was some part of us was missing. It was broken. So I believe like that year was a tough, tough, tough year for us. But I believe you have good and bad times. We have the opportunity next year to change it, and I think we can change it.
But that is if we get to play next year. That's a
Well,
whole
yeah,
story. That next story by itself.
itself, yeah.
What was the mood like after that game though? Like after the whole tournament? What was the mood after the tournament? Like going back home or going back to respective clubs?
Well, the mood, the last game was, I think while I was going to play the last game, I know we cannot qualify. So it was, for me personally, I felt like I let down the country. For me personally, I believe we could have do better, but we did not do better. For me personally, I took it hard. 'Cause it was one of the tournament I really wanted to do great in to market myself as a player. Because I believe that's the biggest CONCACAF tournament. So if you show that you're a top player in the tournament, you can change your life. As a player. I was really really looking forward to the tournament. It did not go to plan. That's life. Not everything you plan go to plan, and as I said, we have to we have to do some thinking, and we have a if we do play next year, we have a chance to win the tournament again, and hope we can change it.
Yeah. We talk about your time, going back to your time in the MLS. Are you comfortable in the MLS or would you like eventually to get a move to Europe?
Well,
Because we see Aubrey playing in Europe right now. No
yeah,
Aubrey,
Wesley.
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 Wesley. Yeah, Wesley playing in Europe right now and he seems content.
Hmm.
Would you like would you welcome a move to Europe or you're
Well,
comfortable in America?
for me as a player, I'm never comfortable. I always want to improve. I wouldn't say if I get a move to Europe, yeah, it will be happy. But I never. I'm in this league for now. I never prove anything. I never get a chance to prove anything. I never really play week in, week out to have a feel of the league. For me personally, I have no problem staying in America at this point in time and try to figure out the league, see how competitive the league is. But as I said, I never play week in, week out, so I don't really know the feeling, But I have no problem with America. I believe it's one of the best, the biggest league in CONCACAF, and that's our region.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with playing in America.
Well, you are 26 now,
Yeah.
and you now start playing in MLS. So you could go on to maybe 30, 31 playing
Well,
there.
hopefully by the grace of God, no injuries, and you as good as your body. Hopefully I take care of my body, and he he carry me a long way.
We was talking a little bit about before we went on air about your training sessions. Tell the
Hmm.
people about your training sessions.
Well, it's for me, it's different. The mentality of the guys, every single day is a new day. Every single day, the guys want to improve. They want to do better. So every time you get a chance to train, you really give your all. These guys, the mentality is good. I love the mentality of the guys. Like every single day, they see a chance to improve. You train now. You train with a chip on your back. It tells you everything: how much you run, how much sprints you do, how much miles you cover. So every day it's a chance to improve. Where in the training it's there where you learn stuff. You learn your teammates. You know who you are as a player. You know the level you are. You know where you need to improve. You know where you need to work on, and that's what you do in the training.
So it was a big step up from training connection.
Yeah, big step. where you can get away in Trinidad with, you will not get away over here. You know, some you play at the higher level you play is the more you learn. You know, some things you don't get away with. So
You
you
train once
take
a
that
day?
on board. Yeah, once a day.
Morning sessions.
Yeah, morning, and then like you can gym. You as a player, you the gym is free. You know, you do either gym before or after training.
Okay,
So the club
Jomo?
doesn't stipulate your gym in time or your gym in
Well,
schedule, etc.
no, they look at it as that's your responsibility. You know, some guys are in the gym every day. Some guys in the gym 4 or 5 times a week. It's you as a player to know because I believe when you gym in, you strengthen your body and you can cut down on your injuries. You know, so some guys do it every day. So you win gym hard every day. You know, you have light, you gym light, or sometimes you go heavy. But things like that, it's up to you as a player. You know, if they see on the GPS you're not running how you're supposed to be running, you know, they have a meeting with you and it's up to you to improve.
You're not a protein guy. You don't take protein shakes or nothing there.
Yeah, you have me. I take it because you work hard, you know, so you have to put back proteins in your body. So every training, it's there for you. If you want to take it, you take it. Not every day I take it, but when I feel drained, I take it, and it has some other stuff you can take to build your body.
So the protein is for recovery and replenishment, not really to build
Yeah,
aesthetic looks.
nah. If you it have things for that, but nah, it had the protein there for after training. You know, you train, you tired, so you put back some energy in your body.
Okay, so Alvin, you're coming to the end of the MLS season. You said there are one game remaining. Unfortunately, you
Remaining.
didn't make the playoff. So unfortunately, the borders are still closed at the time. So what would be your plan now towards the start of the next season? Because I think the MLS starts in March. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
how they might start with the new COVID, but with the COVID
yeah.
protocol. What's your plan from
Well,
now until then?
well. For now, I will after the game Sunday. For now, I'll see. I think the prime minister is supposed to speak sometime.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he open up the borders or make it easier for citizens to come back home. As I said, I haven't seen Trinidad for a year since the 2020 start. Um, I like to come back home to my family, to my loved ones, my friends. You know, so I'm just having my fingers crossed to know that he make it easier for citizens to come back home
You talk to your family often?
every day,
Every day.
every day.
Every
Yeah,
day.
You mentioned that.
not really, but I have to work. So
Yeah.
Trinidad, time for me to be Trinidad will come, you know, and that's after the season. So that Trinidad always there.
Okay, but how was it in the MLS coming up against your brother or as your friend Kevin Molino? How was it? Even though you as you said, you wouldn't have been on the team, but just being on the opposition team, and well, someday I'll be playing against my brother because I'm a right back, and I think Joven plays left back for
Yeah,
Seattle, so you might
Seattle.
have a little duel
Or
now
left
and
wing
again.
sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how
So
you looking forward to school, your big brother?
yeah, it's a competition, you know. It'll be great to be on the same pitch. You know, usually I be in the same color with them.
Yeah.
It'll be a little weird to be run up against them, but it's competition, you know.
Mhm.
I believe it will be fun, competitive, and it's something I was definitely looking for this year, you know, like playing against Kevin Marino, playing against Joe, my brother. But it didn't happen, but hopefully it happen in 2021.
So when you're going up against him, you have like that barrier in the back of your mind to ease him up, or you're going in strong.
Nah, going strong, you know. It'll be competitive, you know. Like he will want to beat me, I'll want to stop him. So
Mhm.
it'll be a good battle, but it will be fair and nice. So, but it was something I was definitely looking forward to. But as I said, sometimes you plan stuff and it don't go to plan. So
Yeah.
hopefully in the future I play against him one day.
Okay, how has the market itself been for you? How has been living in Utah? I know we touched on the cold, etc. I'm not familiar with Utah, and a lot of Trinities being there. It's on the West
Yeah,
Coast. In terms of missing the food, missing the lifestyle, because and if you're in the New York market or you're in the Miami market, I mean, there are a number of Trinidadian restaurants, these kind of things up and around. How does it feel? Or even Trinidadian people. I mean, you might go
yeah,
a game and you see a Trinidad flag. I mean, that could be the closest you could get to home, or let's say a
yeah,
Trinidadian in the area and they say, well, through mutual connections, you'll meet them, they will come and support you.
yeah.
Do you feel like a like alien or a lonely person in the Utah market, or I mean, you focus on your game and that's all that matters?
Well, for me personally, it would be good to have like probably one or two Trinidadians around, but it's that's your work, you know. You'll always it not always will be comfortable for you. Um, yeah, I miss the food, but I'm the type of person I adapt, you know, to whatever environment I'm in. You know, that's the nature of your work. You know, you can end up anyway. It's life, you know. For me, it will be, as you said, it will be good to see Trinidadian supporters in the stands. You know, it make you feel special. But as I said, it was not. They have no Trinidadians in Utah, so I guess I'll have to buy the Utah fans. You know, make them feel like Trinidadians. Put them on my side.
Yeah, good one, good one, good one.
Yeah.
Are there any US players playing for Real Salt Lake?
I don't think it have US players, but I don't think they're currently on the US team.
Okay, okay. So you don't get them any stick
Yeah.
about denying them a World Cup?
No, for me personally, I don't like walk wrong. You
You
know,
don't brag
like
about it.
yeah, I'm more low key. I'm a more low key guy, and like try to create more history for myself. You know, it's something that past. You know what I can do now. You know, that's how I look at football. You know, what history I can create now.
Do you
So
get stick for the 6 now?
nah,
None at all.
yeah, some of the staff here that talk more about the goal. You know, that you said that's what they know me for, like
Mm.
the goal. So they like, yeah, there's a guy who's talking to US, but they don't talk about the 6-0.
Now, well, 2020 has been a year, especially the first half of 2020, with all the Black Lives Matter and all that thing there. And I think that exposed a lot of racism, especially in America. Like,
Yeah.
were you ever, in your time in America at least, a victim of racism?
No, I was never, but I see what the guys stand for, and you can see it. I was never a victim, but I saw players was a victim. I saw them on TV. The way how they react, it's not a nice thing, especially in this modern time. You know, we had players had a Black Lives Matter community. The players had a togetherness. You know, we support each other as Black players. You know, we never bring it across like we separating ourselves from these guys, or because a lot of the different race, the guys that support us, they know what we've been through as Black players, you know, and they stand with us. And the league also, you know, the league was they support us, and I was happy for that as an organization. And some of the players they support us as well. They stand with us strongly, and we as players we had a voice, and hopefully the nation can understand what we fighting for as Black players.
But that's on the field. What about like off the field, walking in the street, going to the shop or anything? Did you feel like you stand out as a black player, or like normal?
Well, for me off the field, I try
Not
my
even
best to
as a
make
player,
things.
as not even as a player, like a person, like a black person.
Yeah, as a person, as I said, that's what we fighting as players. You know, we have the voice, we have the platform to try and change the mindset of the people who don't see us as important as them. You know, but off the field, it was a hype. It was crazy. I try my best to do get involved. Like walk in the streets or going somewhere where I don't feel comfortable. I stay inside much as possible because we're living in a crazy, crazy world. Say 2020 was like a loss year for everyone. Frustration, a lot of things was heating up. So I try my best to stay away from those environments.
Alvin, in terms of your game thus far and your game continue to evolve, we're in the year 2020 and all things holding, we believe that 2020 and 2026 are the next World Cup years. Personally, you set any goals with regard to these campaigns? One, you'll be 28 based on you being 26 now, and one, you'll be 32. So like 32 is be like the last big part of your prime. So how do you feel about that, and what
Well,
personal goals you put in place in terms of we still do have our good guys right now in and around the team, and we have
hmm
good guys to come. So what would you think that if you had set up towards our next World Cup, what do you think would you like as a player done to help us give that best possible chance off the field?
for me personal, I'm looking at two more World Cups. The last two, I believe I have chance to play in it. But for me, I just taking care of my body, try to keep healthy as possible, try to keep injury free, and try to develop my game as fast as possible, where I can help my country, where I can be one of the most important players for the country. Like to raise the standard. Where where we can be playing at a high level. I believe the international guys who playing outside, I believe when they come back, like we bring the the level, like bring the different culture to these guys where they know that that they have to raise the level. To have a lot of good players in Trinidad who can play on the national team. You don't have to be playing abroad to play on the national team. I believe we, as internet players who playing outside, when we come back, we have a big influence on the local players. Because they will be looking at us, the way how we train, we mentality. I believe if we keep a high standard, that we can set that bar for the national team. And hopefully everyone have the same goal, and we can gel good, and we can have a good year.
Well, I know you'll be looking especially at the 26th World Cup because obviously USA, Mexico, and
Cool.
Canada will be
Canada
hosting it.
hosting
So
it, yeah.
on paper, that would be like the probably the easiest World Cup for Trinidad to
World
get
Cup
to,
to qualify, yeah.
and especially given it's an extended tournament because they're going to what 48 teams.
48
48,
years.
yeah.
Yeah, so on paper it'll be the easiest tournament to qualify for. Like, what do you think
Yep,
that? And obviously, you would be but by that time you would be a veteran in the squad and a player
yep.
that players look up to. What do you think would be needed for the national team now to prepare for them?
Well, I believe in preparation. I believe that the guys who in charge, they have to set goals just like how the players set goals. They have to set their goals. If this what they want to achieve, what we need to achieve it. Give us all the tools, give us everything that we need. To have the best shot. I believe it's, as you said, it's the easiest World Cup to qualify for, but also it's easy. It will be very difficult, for us to qualify. But I believe if we have the correct preparation and the right mindset as players and staff, I believe we can qualify.
And you as a player, what you need to do to make sure that you're able to groom younger players who will be looking up to you, especially in your position, right back or centre back.
hmm
What you as a player need to do.
Well, for me, for me personally, if a guy, if I see something, I'll explain it to him, and we can have a chat about it to see how he see it and how I see it and what you think is a better solution. Because I can also learn from the young guys also, you know.
Yeah.
You're never too big to learn, you know. So I can show him my way, he show me his way, and we see what's the best solution, you know. I believe that's the right spirit you will want in a team, you know, guys sharing their knowledge, you know, and thinking about solutions, you know, how to unlock this, if this happen, what to do, you know. And I believe when you have these type of conversation as players, you you get to understand each other better, you get to you play better, the game becomes easier for you, you know. So things like that I believe we have to work on.
Well, I don't know if everybody on the national team have that kind of mentality, but I think we need more of that for
Yeah.
sure.
Alvin, just want to thank you for basically taking time out your day just to kind of come on the program and give us little ones and twos, explain yourself, explain your career. Wish you all the best
Yep.
with your career thus far, continued strength. We hoping you get the start you want on Sunday. Okay, first game under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to have another trainee representing outside. So thanks for your time and thanks for taking us on Bias Brothers.
I
Yeah,
think
man.
this is the first Trini in America that we have on the show.
Yeah,
First
first team in
MLS
America.
player,
Well,
Yeah.
he's a first, Alvin, he's a first. Because we had Costa Rica and Wesley was in Latvia.
yeah.
Wesley,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we had
Yeah.
Kenwin too.
But Ken was in
Well,
Trinidad, so
Yeah.
well, hi,
we have
man.
a
A
first
pleasure,
team
man.
in
Thanks.
Trinidad. Alvin.
Hope we could have you on in future shows, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Mhm.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
man.
thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in, everyone. Thanks for listening. And we will see you guys next time on the podcast. Peace out.